So now it's time to invite our next keynote speakers for the day. Let me introduce them first. We have with us Mr. Neeraj Hakim, VP Sales Ayvens, and Ms. Aditi Bajpai, Associate VP HR Ayvens. Let me give a small brief about both the personalities. Mr. Neeraj Hakim is a seasoned sales leader overseeing the North region as Vice President of Sales and Ayvens India. With a strong background in the financial service sector, he brings expertise in negotiation, business planning, CRM, and sales management. His robust track record is a testament to his strategic acumen and leadership skills. Through these years of experience and an educational foundation from Army Public School. As results-driven professional, Mr. Neeraj excels in driving business growth, fostering client relationships, and implementing high-impact sales strategies that elevate market presence and revenue performance. Now let me give a small brief about Ms. Aditi as well. Aditi is a visionary leader with over 12 years of experience cross-industry, driving high-impact people strategies that align talent with business growth. As Associate Vice President at Ayvens India, she spearheads large-scale HR initiatives focusing on talent management, leadership, assessment, diversity, equity and inclusion, and digital HR transformation. An engineer turned into HR professional, Ms. Aditi holds a computer science degrees and an MBA from IIM Raipur. Her career journey spans esteemed organizations like Cerebrus Consultants and Trident, where she has expertise in organizational development, change management, and HR innovation. With a strategic mindset and a passion for empowering people and businesses, Ms. Aditi is dedicated to driving transformative HR solutions that foster sustainable growth and a thriving workplace culture. With due respect, everyone, let's invite both our keynote speakers with a huge round of applause, everyone. Yes? Let's appreciate to every personnel that presents here, that comes on the dais to share their experience, their knowledge with us. With this, may we have you on stage, please?
Thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. So, the topic, new era of talent. Doesn't it sound something straight from a Black Mirror episode, robots doing performance appraisal, AI-generated pep talks, employees signing in through holograms? But stay with me, the future of talent is definitely not dystopian, it's rather beautiful. It's where purpose meets performance, it's where flexibility meets impact. And that's why we are here today. So a few months back, I'd gone to see a comedy show, and the comic was sharing about his corporate experiences. And he said that I was interviewing a rather young candidate, and somewhere in the middle of the interview, the person said that, I'm sorry, this doesn't seem to match with my skill set, and I will not be able to go ahead with it. And he was like, is that what it is now? So while he appreciated the honesty of the candidate, he was like, back in our times, we used to grab whatever we can get and then figure out about skills, culture, all of that later. But yes, that is what it is today, and that's why all of us are here today, right? So, and as talent leaders, we are not just managing talent anymore, we are rather curating experiences which lead to impact. And we know that people today are not looking for employment only, they're looking for fulfillment. They're looking for jobs which are, in line with their career aspirations, their value systems, their lifestyle. So that's the reason we're here today. And so a few days back when I, started preparing for this presentation, I did something dangerous. I opened the deck and I went through the profiles of all of you, the profile of the audience, of the speakers, and I would agree I had a minor moment of panic, and I was like, what can I say in this room that the people already don't know? You are HR leaders, you are experts, you've led transformations, you've seen the graphs, you know the data, you've been in the trenches. So I thought, instead of me sharing anything, any gyan, maybe just all of us together, maybe we reflect and ask some questions which are relevant for us and we reflect together as a group, and maybe we are able to co-create something. And that's what I'm going to do today. So the first question is, what drives motivation today? We know cash only is not driving motivation anymore, it's not driving productivity anymore. But there was a study which Daniel H. Pink talks about in his book, Drive, wherein the world-renowned economist and psychologist did a survey, did a research, wherein they found out that cash does work to increase the productivity and performance if the job is rather monotonous, robotic, and repetitive. But if any job requires even minor cognitive dissonance, cash can actually be a negative influencer to the performance. It was surprising at the time, it's baffling, but that's what it is, and that's what research has proved. So then the bigger question here is that what can we do to drive motivation? And in his book, and I'm going to take help from an expert, he talks about three things: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And we're going to unpack each one of these with some examples. So autonomy, as the name suggests, is ability to drive your life in your way, ability to choose where to work, when to work, how to work. So post-COVID, we've all been discussing work from home versus work from office. And there are companies like Spotify who have allowed their employees to work from anywhere in the world. There are companies like Atlassian, which is known for its very famous IT product called Jira, wherein everybody has to spend 20% of their working time during a month or a year in doing something that they are super passionate about. So no questions, no interference, just pure autonomy. The second thing is mastery. Mastery is growing. People want to grow. And when I talk about growth, it doesn't just mean growing up the ladder in terms of designation, roles. Growing also means staying relevant, gaining deeper knowledge of things that truly matter in the new age. And that's what people also want to do. So we will be talking about training programs, but are we giving people time for innovation, for passion? Google's best product, Gmail, was birth child of that innovation. Google allows its engineers to spend some time of their working hours in innovation, and Gmail was born from that, that particular discussion. So we need to think. Closer to home, Zoho. Zoho has a university internal certification programs wherein they encourage their people, and all that has to be done within the working hours. It's not fair to go outside and that is their choice, but it's also needed to incorporate in their everyday work. And third, of course, the most important, which Madhubita also was talking about, purpose. When Lord Ram had a purpose, he got motivated. So purpose is when you have the feeling that you are contributing to something which is more important than yourself, which is bigger than yourself. And there's a LinkedIn talent trend report that also talks about that if people feel that they're contributing to something bigger, they are actually 2.3 times more likely to stay in the organization for a longer term. And we must have heard of a company, American company called Patagonia, which makes outdoor hike clothes. They are super environment conscious, and that's all what they talk about more than the product. So, while walking the talk, they have already attracted all those Gen Zs and millennials who are environment conscious and who want to work for such companies. So again, a lot to reflect that as a company, are we doing enough? Are we giving people enough autonomy? Are we giving people enough purpose? Okay. Another question, the second question, is sustainability a talent magnet? So apparently it is, and a pretty powerful one, and that's what the research here, which I've shown on the slide, shows. It's a Deloitte research, by the way. So the new age talent, the new era of talent, if you talk about Generation Z and millennials, they're not just tweeting about climate change from their homes, they're also choosing employment basis that. So their employer of choice are the companies who are more sustainable. In fact, research has shown that they're ready to take pay cut. They're ready to, let go of the cash rewards if they feel that they work for a company which actually is contributing to something bigger than themselves. So again, a lot to reflect, that are we doing enough? Are we giving them the purpose? So a lot here. So at Ayvens, also we give time off to people to engage in activities which are related, volunteering activity, and it's a paid time off, wherein they can engage in any activity that they feel, in which they're contributing to the environment. And a lot of people do take that time off, and they feel, they come back, satisfied with the feeling that they have done something, over and beyond. And now, the third question, what fuels happiness? This is a very, very big topic. Madhumita also touched upon it. We know that happiness, when we are chasing happiness, it's not just a cozy, fuzzy, warm feeling. We are actually talking about a core driver of performance in today's time. And in the book, Happiness Advantage, Sean Aker flips the traditional narrative, which is, success leading to happiness. He says, actually, happiness leads to success. The research shows that a happy salesperson is bound to sell 5 times more than a person who's unhappy or rather neutral. And I'm not going to talk about very high ticket, big budget, fancy tech things. We can do, as talent leaders, we can do very, very small things to ensure that our people are happy, to boost their morale. And let's talk about Employee Appreciation Day. I think March 7th was the Employee Appreciation Day. So a good opportunity for us to do something around that. LinkedIn has a Lift Up program where the senior leadership sends surprise appreciative messages to the middle management. You can imagine what that would do to their morale. Then another thing which I quite resonate with and I feel is not talked enough is having a social support system within the company. So take Gallup survey, and they found out that if a person has a close friend, that office bestie, if you have that in the company, you are not only, you would remain in the company for longer, the talent is retained, but you would also be more productive and happy. But only 2 out of 10 people said that they have somebody close in the organization. So when I'm saying close in the organization, it doesn't necessarily mean to hire their best friend, but we can also create an environment where people can be close. We can encourage that kind of behavior. Simple things, again, no fancy tech, no big budgets, just simple human connection leading to big results. Netflix, of course, known for its bold policies, it's out of the next gen kind of policies, very revolutionary. They have unlimited leaves. So trust, we were talking about trust, because they trust their employees, that if they have to go, no questions asked, leave, like we were talking about. So they trust their employees. If you have to go, it's fine. And they also know that when employee is at work, then they're investing more than probably they would rather do in a normal situation. So again, a lot to think, ask, reflect. Yeah, so to conclude, if we put people first, performance, productivity, planet, everything will follow. So talent first is our, should be our mantra, and it is our mantra, and that's why we have taken out time from our busy lives to be here. So 5 simple things that, as HRs we can do. We want to offer true flexibility. And when I say true flexibility, it's beyond just having the permission to check emails in your pajamas. We want to embed sustainability and not just greenwash. That doesn't work well. We need to redesign rewards, and which match people's aspirations. So Dream 11 has head office in Mumbai, and Mumbaikar's biggest problem is traffic and commute, right? So what they came up with, a very nice reward program. They said if you live within 5 kilometers of the company, we're going to cover a huge portion of your rent. Now that, obviously people opted for it, most people opted for it, and that didn't just make people stay longer in the company, that actually elevated their lifestyle. They are living in posher societies. Their children are going to schools that otherwise they might not have been able to send if they were living like far away from the downtown. So it has an impact, and children's education is going to be with them for life. So it has an impact which is not short term, it's rather long term. So we need to relook and redesign all of that. Then of course, enabling career mobility, which is beyond waiting for somebody to quit to reach to that level. and prioritizing mental well-being, which is beyond having a free yoga class or so. So yeah, so with that thought, I would now like to invite Neeraj, who is my colleague in sales. Actually, we also have a question, so if you can just, there's a QR code on your table as well, or you can just scan it here. So, you know, with these thoughts, can we know that what is the biggest challenge that is keeping you up at night as an HR leader? Is it attracting Gen Z and millennials? Is it retaining high performers, or is it offering relevant rewards, or it is obviously aligning with the sustainability expectations? So maybe if you can take out some time to answer this. Yeah, so now thank you for your time, and that's what I had to say, and now I would like to invite Neeraj, who would talk about how Ayvens can support you in your talent management, talent related goals. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aditi. Am I audible like that? Thank you, Gainscales, for this opportunity, and good morning, everyone. So, like I said, I'm a salesperson. So, once a salesperson, always a salesperson. So, I have to convert this talk into a sales pitch now. So, that's a difficult thing to do. But let me try and do a sales pitch now. You know, we being sponsors, aapne ko bola hai ki you have to set the cash registers moving. Okay, so now, can we show the results of that multimeter? Let's try and take it from there. Okay, we can talk about it later. Now, so, you know, how can a car leasing company help you in attracting or retaining talent? You know, that's a big question. How can we do it? You know, I am a car leasing company. I ask you to buy cars, and I ask you to add more cars on the road, more carbon emission on the road. But yet I say, okay, fine, that's a great tool. So I will not explain why, what is car leasing. You know, all of us know what car leasing is. I'll just talk about briefly about how car leasing can help you in attracting or retaining client. Now, obviously, when I talk about car leasing happens to be a very integral tool. You know, it can be used as a tax-saving tool in a employee remuneration. So you kind of redesign rewards, right? Then, you know, it can be used as a tool to retain people. Given the attrition rates that we have, you know, car leasing will not only attract people, but will also, you know, this tax-saving model will also ask them to stay. Now, is it all that simple? You know, while attracting people with car leasing and retaining them, you as HR leaders will think, what's the catch? There has to be a catch. And why, if it's such a wonderful tool, why are not many corporates adopting it? So obviously, you know, there are risks associated with it, which are perceived risks. You know, you as HR leaders feel that, you know, I don't want to get into it. Yeah. You know, I will buy hundreds of cars, and those cars are running on my name, and you know, while it's a risk for an organization. And what about the administrative hassles? And from an employee perspective, I said, okay, fine, may take a car lease, but what happens if I were to move out? You know, these are all questions which we have to answer. So how can Ayvens help you not only attract client, retain client, but also, you know, at the same time, kind of give you a solution which kind of negates this. So, you know, we kind of we are promoting a tripartite arrangement, wherein we say, okay, fine, you don't register the car in your name. The car registration happens in an employee's name, which is okay. So all risk associated with usage of the car, taxes, penalties, challans, or any third-party liability falls on the person who's driving the car. So you as an organization are kind of indemnified. You know, you don't have that risk. Now, as an employee, I feel, okay, fine, I've taken a car lease. Does it mean that I can't really, you know, if at all I have to move out, what is there for the company and for me? Fair enough. We say, okay, fine, you take a car lease, but as a company, the company is only liable to pay till the time you are part of the company. Beyond that, it is between you and the leasing company. So the company doesn't have that risk of, you know, adjusting the FNFs and, taking back the possession of the car and so on and so forth. And on top of it, a person gets a tax liability. Now, I don't have much time, so probably I will connect with you, all of you later. We have our time ticking and we have to talk about. So while I say adding cars, retaining talent, attracting talent, there's another angle which we all talk about, sustainability. So is the program sustainable? Yes, the program is sustainable. It will offer a long-term, retention of clients, yes. Now, sustainability is not just limited to, the program being sustainable. Do we offer sustainable solutions? We at Ayvens are very high on sustainability. We have on ESG. ESG happens to be one of the, catchwords these days, and each one of us is responsible for those maintaining low carbon emissions. So how do we promote it? So we as responsible, car leasing partners, not only offer a sustainable program, but we also promote sustainable mobility in terms of offering, EVs on or hybrid cars or other non-polluting fuels. Now, when I talk about sustainability, we are also proud to introduce. We have two partners with us, Creta and MG today, and both of us are displaying their sustainable vehicles. So, we have this is a Creta. So, Creta is obviously, all of us know Creta. So they have an electric EV, Creta, and, which is, obviously people say, yeah, I don't want to drive an electric car. It has, low range and, it's costly to buy, more expensive than a normal car. But yes, that range anxieties, these newer models have really taken care of the range anxieties. They have fantastic ranges and they offer good mobility, and at the same time, they offer you lesser carbon emissions, which resonate with both us and with all of you. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have much to say, and I look forward to catching up with all of you over the break, and probably we can connect sometime later and talk more about leasing in detail. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Please be with us. And ma'am, can we invite you back on the dais? And everyone, please give them a huge round of applause for sharing their knowledge, their insights with us.